look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah,
So we wanted to
what's that?
look at it from
It looked like it was
So we wanted to
Is that peeking?
look at it from that perspective.
Check.
So we wanted to
That's fine.
look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to
Yeah, so we just saw that Tarantino.
So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to talking me into it. So we wanted to talking me into it. Kind of talking me into it. Look at it from that perspective. So we wanted to.
I think we did it.
Look at it from that perspective.
It was actually
Kind of talking me into it. We wanted to
talking me into it.
Anyways.
talking me into it. Kind of talking me into it. Kind of talking me into it.
So yeah, we just saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just want to tell everybody that I don't know anything about movies. My favorite movie of all time, if you were to ask me, and it's a secret, it's secret information. My favorite movie of all time is Good Will Hunting.
Really? Why?
Somehow I didn't have any friends, and I thought like having a bunch of books around me thinking I'm smart. I kind of related to that character.
Oh.
Like, no one knows you, but like,
I relate to that.
how about them apples? How about them apples? You remember that part when he throws the number against the window?
I relate to that character as well.
Really?
Because I feel like I'm a genius, but I'm just working as a sandwich artist.
I tell you what, though, that Tarantino movie made me feel I can make a movie. I like movies like that.
Like Clerks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I obviously couldn't afford all the props he had in that movie.
He had a lot of good signs.
But do you think some of those buildings are still there?
Yeah.
And you just kind of had to like light them up?
Well, LA doesn't tear their buildings down.
I know, they let homeless people sleep on them.
Oh. Yeah. They appreciate their shitty their buildings there. So say you wanted to film a movie about old-time Phoenix. You couldn't. Because they tear shit down, as we talked about before. I won't get into it here. Because we already did. Go back into the archives and listen.
Yeah.
Anyways. But you could do
I remember that episode.
You could do it in Hollywood, because there's a lot of stuff there from the 40s.
I think I should eat Jack in the Box on the podcast instead of drinking beer. I'll probably lose weight or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll drink like 6 beers.
But you're a thin guy already.
Yeah, but I just stress out a lot
About beers?
about my health.
Me too.
So we want to give you advice. So like
I think I'm gonna die soon, because I'm unhealthy.
Really? Wait, what is it? Your diet?
Everything I think could kill me. Everything that I do.
Well, I suggest buying a bushel of celery. Start with that, and then do carrots.
What about Mucho Mango?
What's that?
Arizona iced tea.
Well, that has a lot of sugar in it.
Have you had that?
Mm-hmm. I like those Arizona iced teas. Is that what you're talking about?
I want to replace beer with that. And soda. Just Mucho Mango.
Just all that sweet tea shit?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely beneficial during the summer. So, I want to tell everybody that stop going to the movie theater.
I barely go anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think if I still like this, it's disrespectful to our audience?
I don't know. It's pretty dark. I think I'm all lit up too much.
I'm lit. Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, that was good. I went into Bud's glass joint on Grand yesterday.
Do you like it there?
I don't go in there that much.
Is that by your spot?
Yeah. We needed a lighter because it smelled like shit in the salon. So we had to go get a lighter to light some smell good stuff.
It always smells nice when I go in there.
Mhm. It usually does, but in the summer, because the salon could be closed from. Jesus Christ! What's all that goddamn noise?
Testing. All right.
So yeah, I went to Bud's and I bought a lighter. Then it had super joint on it.
So
It
he's
said
so he's getting paid for that.
probably he's a branding.
That's what we have to do for our podcast.
It's only a matter of time. The way I look at it, you pretty much just need to act like you're better than everybody.
Really?
No, without being rude.
Yeah.
It's like, how about this? You act. How about may I have a better word for it? Because that sounds like shit. You just have to act like you're busy all the damn time.
You have to pretend that you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Confidence. Even though I don't like that word. How about you're just busy? You know what you're doing. Maybe I can fit you in the schedule. If I were to go on Facebook and say, "Hey, who wants to be on the podcast?" That shows I'm not busy.
Yeah.
And nor is it cheap too. These other assholes try to look busy and they'll say something like, "Hey, I got all next week filled up with people. I have Tuesday open. Who wants to be on the podcast?" That still sounds like you're not busy. But if you go out in public and I go, "James Hunt, let's do a podcast." You don't need to worry
He'll
about
be
it.
like, why are they here if I want to do the podcast? I guess I'm not going to gain anything.
Shouldn't they be already doing a podcast? Is that what you're saying?
If we were like, we got all these artists on it and we don't have time for you, then people want to do the podcast.
Yeah.
But if we're going out in public,
Trying to get them.
it looks desperate.
So wait, how do we skip that? How do we skip that part?
How do we generate buzz? We have to get someone they admire on the podcast.
Jeez. Who's that?
That one guy. That one artist.
For Tool Brothers?
No, the Mac.
El Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in town?
No. I'm saying theoretically.
No one knows him.
If the Mac was on our podcast, then everyone would want to be on our podcast.
You think so?
Yeah. Because it's like, do you remember, did you ever listen to Mark Maron?
No.
The WTF?
No, who is it? Who is that?
He's this guy that just interviews comedians, right?
Yeah.
But then Obama went on his podcast, and now everyone wants to go on it.
Well, we're gonna get Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake's next week. For any of you guys know, we're not pretending. She's gonna be on the show next week.
And we have to get serious investors on our podcast.
I'm thinking about I want to get beginning tattoo artists that really suck, but they have a big ego.
Oh yeah.
And they got tattoos on their face, and they turn on their homies because they think they're a great artist, but really they're just fucking Xerox. They just fucking lick and stick tattoos on people.
They're just doing face tats.
Just doing face tats, acting like they're tough shit.
They're trying to make everyone into SoundCloud rappers.
They think there's a whole bunch of skin ahead of them that they're just gonna desecrate with their shitty tattoos.
What are all these people gonna do with face tats later when they decide they want face tats?
But you know the way I look at it? Eli, this is serious shit. And when I become president, I'm gonna make it mandatory that every tattoo parlor has someone there to talk them out of a tattoo.
Face tats?
Just tattoos in general. Like, you know, like when people try to commit suicide and the cops have that negotiator come in there and say, hey, you have a lot to live for, don't do it, man. I'm thinking, like, have someone like that who want, like, this girl goes in there and she's like, I want to get a Wu-Tang tattoo on the tip of my nose. And then the guy's like, hey, you know, like, you got a future ahead of you.
What are you gonna say when you have kids? How are you gonna
Or yeah, these
explain
girls
that?
that want to get a big old fucking flower bouquet on their stomach,
Or like a
and
tramp
then when they're pregnant, it looks like a fucking swamp.
or a Chinese tramp stamp on their back.
And it turns out all Chinese are communists, and now you're gonna get fucking thrown in jail because you're a fucking commie conspirator.
And that's just so yeah.
So I did some research on the old Face app.
Oh yeah.
The Russians invented that shit.
Yeah, I heard about that on KTAR today.
And you know what they're gonna do with it? They're gonna drone strike you.
They're generating it. They're generating a database.
To drone strike every fucking American's face.
And they're gonna hack in the next election. They're gonna hack the people who did it. They're gonna get into your. Okay.
There, now we're good.
And then they're gonna, if you put yourself on the Old Face app, you basically gave Russian hackers who hacked the last election, you gave them access to your data on your phone and all your pictures, and they know who you are now. And there's a good chance in the next election they're gonna hack you again. And Robert Mueller, that comes from him.
What was that about?
Robert Mueller.
The Mueller reports. What is that about?
It's how the Russians hacked our election.
Oh, serious? It's too late now. That guy already pissed off everybody, so.
And he put in a section about the Face app. The old Face app.
Really? Them Russians, man. I tell you what, though, fucking. They still. You know, Phoenix is still hot as shit, and so. Have the Russians hack that shit, then.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't they just hack Vegas? Isn't there smarter things to hack? Why don't they hack Bitcoin?
You know what's funny?
Because all those blockchains, it's hard to do.
Have you been on OJ's Twitter?
Oh yeah, he's good, dude.
And someone hacked his account.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but you hacked your ex-wife. Zing.
Who else? Do you know who else's they hacked? They hacked some other celebrity. I forget.
Jessica
Alba. They
Alba.
hacked hers with a bunch of. It was cool because they did the traditional homophobic, racist. What was the other one?
She was calling everyone beaners.
Yeah. Is there anything wrong with things being hacked? I mean, they're just words.
Your name's attached to it forever.
So what? I have a bunch of other more things to say. That's the way I look at it. I get hacked every day. I really don't think I'm in control of anything I write or do.
Yeah. I get hacked by inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
And then,
I try to put myself in O.J. Simpson, Nicole Simpson's shoes. And I think of O.J. getting inside my head with a knife.
And he hacked his wife's boyfriend too.
You know what's weird
He
about
hacked
her?
that.
You know what's weird about her? Did you ever see her naked? She has weird boobs.
No.
They're like wide boobs.
How'd you see it?
Dude, it's all over the net. They got nude Nicole Simpsons.
Why? Because she was in Playboy or something?
Yeah, she used to lift all the weights, and her boobs turned into pectoral muscles. They went wide.
Interesting.
Sometimes when, like, trannies get breast implants,
Yeah.
the breasts go wide because they're all like trying to lift weights all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes certain things that I don't like.
She's a pretty girl.
For example, everybody likes the new Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. I think if Siskel and Ebert were still alive, or at least one of them. Who's the dead one?
What was your review?
Look at that, dude. That's how people are gonna trust our views because we differ. Eli, you know what I'm saying? It's a democracy.
Yeah.
See, they're gonna trust our views. They know you're they know you're a neoconservative liberal.
The next.
And I'm an anarchist corporatist.
You're an anarchist consumer.
I'm a consumer anarchist. I like my anarchy pins.
Anarchist consumerism.
I like anarchy patches for my backpack and my jeans.
And neo-punk.
I'm a neo-punk skater.
You know what the next genre of neo-punk is?
What?
Adam Sandler music. That's post-punk neoism.
I missed it, dude. These skater kids, dude, it was great. They came into the Tarantino movie with their skateboards.
And then they said, I think it's a comedy.
I felt like after they watched it, they said their critique was, I kind of felt like it was kind of a comedy.
It was kind of comedy.
With his buddy. And I felt bad for the kids because I was like, man, when I was your age, I had Pulp Fiction. We watched that shit and we're like, fuck, dude, that was something my mom would never let me watch.
Yep. And then I had The Matrix.
Yeah, The Matrix made you want to do... And then we had Ninja Turtles.
It made you want to do flips.
Dude, Ninja Turtles, I remember the first time I saw the first Ninja Turtles, your favorite movie of all time.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
I went home and I found a stick in the backyard. I thought I was Donatello for at least an hour.
Yeah, it was inspirational.
You know what else is inspirational? Karate Kid. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Rocky was really inspirational.
It's the same director.
Who did Karate Kid and Rocky?
Yep.
And Ninja Turtles?
No. First two only.
Top Gun was inspirational for one reason. When Val Kilmer used to flip that pin on it, he would always flip that pin.
And he went like this.
He would do that? Jeez, man.
He did that to insult Tom Cruise.
Really?
He was like...
What was Val Kilmer's name in the movie?
Ice.
Ice, and then there's Goose.
Ice.
What was Tom Cruise's name?
Maverick.
Maverick, Ice, and Goose. And Third Space is now changing the name of their company.
Drum roll.
It's called Rudy's Place, Enchiladas, and
Gourmet coffee.
Gourmet coffee. Authentic enchiladas and gourmet coffee.
That's from the
takeout.
That's not our scoop. The Phoenix New Times actually posted that earlier.
Yeah, so we're just
re-reporting. We want to give where credit is due.
Gotta make sure we're not stealing. We gotta, yeah.
Third space.
It's called Rudy's Place.
It's called Rudy's Place, :
yeah, colon.
Coffee.
Not like the punctuation, but this is colon. Colon.
Hot coffee and gourmet enchiladas.
Hot coffee and cold enchiladas.
And he's actually investing. He's one of the new investors into the Welcome Diner.
The old Welcome Diner.
The old Welcome Diner.
Roosevelt Diner.
Not Arturo's.
Yeah.
But he's investing in the Welcome Diner. And he's putting a little bit of money into the trampoline park that's about to happen on the Roosevelt Row.
And he's also investing in like 4 food trucks, all selling different cuisines based on what's in season.
He's gonna make a food truck called Nothing But Croutons. It's just gonna yeah.
Dude, I love that news. Cops get free coffee at this one place.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. Everybody needs to start giving cops free food.
Rudy, if you want business,
cops.
Give the cops the coffee. Free.
See, once you get cops in there...
Rudy, don't lose that number. It's the only one you got.
What do you think? I think cops are more faithful clients than hipster artist kids.
Yeah.
Because they got a job that's consistent and pays well. These artist kids, they smoke dope. They get bright ideas thinking they're Quentin Tarantino.
They skateboard to the movie theater. They don't even freaking know what they're watching.
I love those kids, dude. I'll remember those kids forever, actually.
They're shooting for the stars, but they're landing on the moon, if you get my drift.
So you know what I realized? Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are lucky actors. They're just lucky. They can act, but they're not great. They can act, and they got lucky.
They're just.
They're pretty much equivalent to Marky Wahlberg.
But did they win?
So you know another thing that pissed me off about the movie? They didn't even use Pacino to his full potential, bro.
I was thinking that.
They used him in such a mediocre way.
He was in the first scene.
He pretty much kept the same emotion through the whole film.
He was in the first scene, and they tacked on a scene at the end.
Yeah.
He probably shot his role in 15 minutes. But you remember in Jackie Brown, De Niro was in it?
God, that was the best role De Niro has played.
But he was in the whole movie. He wasn't just in one or two scenes. He was in the whole freaking movie. But people don't give him credit for being in that movie, really.
You know another thing that pissed me off? I don't think Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio represent Hollywood actors. I think they're more international or East Coast. They do not have the California appeal. You know who's Californian? Like those Seth Rogen guys.
Oh, what's his name?
He should have James Franco in there.
Seth MacFarlane?
Seth Rogen.
The Family Guy.
No, Seth Rogen, the guy who's in Superbad.
And he had kids cursing, remember?
Yeah, that guy. Oh, Seth MacFarlane did the Superbad movie?
He did Family Guy.
Who did the Superbad movie?
Seth,
Rogen.
Rogen.
Yeah, he did the movie that with the kids cussing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when that movie comes out, we're going to be protesting.
And the kids, they're just like, AIDS! Wiener!
Wiener, AIDS, dick, rape. Little kids are saying this in a film. And all these liberals...
Cooter.
All these fucking liberals are laughing their asses off. But if it was their own kid doing that shit... Dude, they'd fucking they'd tell him to go to a psychiatrist.
You remember the joke that everyone laughed at there?
No, what was it?
Why, that guy doesn't know how to kiss because he's kissing her butt. Or something like that.
Yeah, and they laughed.
This is the biggest
They were
laugh.
watching porn.
And then they're like, why does she have so many husbands?
Fucking kid, dude, that shit is not funny. Trying to make kids all naive and shit.
And kids are gonna want to watch that freaking movie.
They're gonna sneak watch it. And if I see any parents with their kids in that theater, I'm gonna face app them and send it to the Russians.
What's that movie called?
It's called fucking Boys something.
But so this movie where the kids curse.
Yeah.
Get a fucking clue.
I'm definitely gonna protest that movie.
It's gonna make a lot of money though.
That's my air compressor. I gotta unplug that. What is in the new Seth Rogen film? I'm glad I didn't get another beer. Do you think people talk shit about us like we talk shit about the Tarantino movie?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do.
It's called The Boys, dude.
The Boys? No, that's the comic book movie.
Oh, my bad.
Because I have those comics, so but
Is that gonna be a good movie? Is that out?
it could be. It's a TV show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people talk shit about us. I'm pretty sure people are just watching this podcast to make fun of me behind my back.
Well, I tell you what, when we're in the next Tarantino movie, they're gonna not want to be talking all that shit. Dude, what was that movie called? Monsters, Inc.? He played the Blob.
It was called Kids.
Kids after they get AIDS.
You remember that movie,
Kids 2 after AIDS.
That's just a funny version of Kids. What he's doing now.
Dude, I hated that movie, Kids. You like that shit?
You know what? Everyone would quote that in my high school, but I never actually seen it all the way through.
Thank God, dude. You saved yourself some fucking time.
But it was people talked about that constantly in high school. The guy who said I had no legs.
Yeah. That's funny. Right? That's the only thing they could quote. You know, like, when that movie came out, that's what I'm afraid about, that stripper movie with fucking beat up Jennifer Lopez in it.
She need... Girl! You need to retire, girl.
Dude, I can't believe Jennifer Lopez fixed herself up to play
Jenny
one last-
from the block, go back to the block, okay?
Yeah. So they're gonna play Charlie's Angels, strippers that kill dudes that pay them good money for their untalented...
Okay, I sort of want to watch Charlie's Angels. Because one of them's pretty hot.
The short hair one?
The dark-skinned girl. She played Aladdin.
Really? I didn't think she was that hot.
I think I would just watch it to look at her.
I think we have different tastes in women.
Yeah. It could be. You didn't think so?
Which one? Damn, did I just do that again? Bastards. Which one? The dark hair girl? I have to look at her again.
That's probably a good 30 minutes of interest for me in the movie.
You're kind of talking me into it. You're kind of talking me into it. So we wanted to kind of look at it from that perspective. So, gosh, you know, I think we did it. It was actually a situation. I think we had it for 2 nights going one way, and then about 3 months later. Gosh, you know, I think we did it. It was actually a situation.
Anyways, Tarantino, may you rest in peace. I think the Russians hacked the new Tarantino movie.
I think the New Times hacked the new Russians.
My favorite movie of all time, other than Good Will Hunting, is
Coneheads?
No, it was called Sweet November with Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves. It was a romance movie.
It's that one.
No, it's right here.
I think I remember that movie.
My favorite movie other than Good Will Hunting is Green State.
Green Mile?
No, Green State. No, Garden State. Garden State.
That movie.
It has Natalie Portman in it.
Don't get me started on that movie.
My favorite movie other than Garden State is The Ally McBeal Show, all seasons.
She needs to eat a sandwich, I'll tell you that.
Dude, that's what I was going to post the other day, but I didn't because I thought I'd come off as racist.
What?
I said, hey, you bearded dudes with your tattoo sleeves, why don't you try making a good sandwich before you try making tacos?
Sandwiches are racist.
Are they?
Because tacos aren't... You're putting it ahead of tacos.
I know. Who's the racist now? You're right. It was totally racist. But I loved it. This guy on my Instagram, he was making tortillas from scratch.
Why do we serve tacos in schools?
Why? You know why they serve tacos?
It's racist too.
Do you know how much meat they put in tacos? Do you know a little bit of meat is in each taco?
It's cultural appropriation.
No, the white man has taken the taco and acted like one taco is a full meal.
Free the shackles of taco shackles that bound your arms. Break free.
It's bring back the burrito. You remember back in the day when people didn't eat tacos, all they ate was burritos?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You remember you used to go down to 7-Eleven, get the bomb burrito, and you get a bag of Fritos?
Yeah.
And you could crunch them inside the microwave burrito?
Yeah.
And put some ketchup on it, dude, and you got like a super meal.
Is that a prison burrito?
Dude, if you can get Fritos and a microwave burrito in prison, I'm going to prison.
I'll tell you what, the bomb burrito makes my shit explode too.
It's just, you know what, you want to know why, Eli? Because you have a good heart. You want to give back as much as was given.
Every time you have explosive diarrhea, Angel gets its wings. Thank you.
Every time you have explosive diarrhea, it means you have a good heart.
Thank you, Jimmy Stewart, for teaching me that.
And you're not gonna die anytime soon. It means you're healthy.
It means I'm giving. If you have explosive diarrhea, it means you've given up on life.
So we wanted to look at it from that perspective.
Ooh, nice.
Transition.
Nailed it.
Transition.
Nailed the switch.
I don't even know what that says. Anyways, yeah, so third, in conclusion, take your mom
To Third Space Brunch. On Saturdays.
on Saturdays. It's gonna be open.
DJs, but they're not playing crazy music.
Also, take your mom.
They're playing family-friendly music.
Take your mom for some good tacos
At Chawas.
at Chawas, or any of these. Every craft beer place in the valley sells tacos.
What does that mean, craft beer, anyways?
Craft beer or craft beer? It means it was crafted by some dudes.
In a bathtub?
It's homemade. I'm gonna make a non-alcoholic craft beer place, sell nothing but root beers and ginger ales.
Ruby's Craft
And I'm
Beer.
gonna call it craft beer. But
Ruby's.
they're gonna come in there and be like, no one's getting drunk.
How did...
Wouldn't it be cool to actually open up a bar and not tell anybody there's no alcohol in any of the beer? Just let them drink it.
It's a bar for recovering alcoholics.
But you never tell them, like, dude, go ahead and call the cops. You want to test my? There's beer in this. They're like, dude, I'm not getting drunk. How do you know? What is reality? That's what you tell them.
Most of drunkenness is just your mind thinking you're drunk.
So yeah, take your mom, not to the new Tarantino movie, but to Third Space Brunch.
Tarantino's Tacos. Tacos Tarantino.
One day, if you really want to if you want to waste 3 hours and get out of the heat in all positivity and help and love and kindness, watch that new Tarantino movie. Stay out of the heat. Spend 3 hours in an air-conditioned movie theater.
Just remember, it's better than reading a book. If you're disappointed in the movie.
Yeah, always remember that you could be reading a book right now.
But at least you're not reading it and you're watching a movie.
We're glad you guys all visited in. I hope you think twice about the greatness of Charles Manson.
He was only one shot.
Dude, he didn't even come back in the movie. Is that fucking lame?
He just looked around.
He just looked around next door. Why was that even necessary? Why was that a necessary scene?
I guess that guy was in another Charles Manson movie and he played Charles Manson.
The same guy?
Yeah.
I saw that movie. It just came out. But why was that scene even in that? To give suspense, like Charles Manson gonna come back in the rest of the movie? Fucking lame.
It's a false start.
Had that movie last 3 hours, don't you think it should have been shorter?
Because they put that plot with where... Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! You have 3 seconds to turn the podcast off.
Spoiler alert,
1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm gonna say some spoilers.
Everyone dies except all the bad actors in the movie.
Spider-Man lives.
Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't die. Brad Pitt doesn't die.
That middle part where they, it was a Western movie, but he kept interrupting.
Yeah.
That was totally unnecessary. Do you know what I'm talking about?
With the Luke Perry part?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking lame. He might have been the only actor.
It had nothing to the plot to move it forward.
None of it. Like, why did I need to see that he was a struggling actor?
No, it was interesting because he would be like, you'd get into the story, right? And then he'd be like, line. Do you remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
But they did it like 3 times. They could have just did it like in a minute. Move on.
Yeah, I didn't
Move
like.
on.
I didn't like the film. 10 reasons why I didn't like it was the first reason was that
Johnny Depp wasn't in it.
Johnny Depp wasn't in it. The screen was way too wide for me. I didn't like how wide the screen was. I also didn't like. I didn't like how he cut from scene to scene. That was very annoying.
I didn't like how he decided not to put Samuel Jackson in it.
I thought it. You know what? I also don't like how the whole movie was designed to talk shit on Spike Lee.
And he said
Because he didn't drop the N-bomb once.
Yeah,
in the
that's
whole
what I was
film.
about to say. There's
In every other movie though, he probably has dropped the N-bomb in every Tarantino flick.
And then, as far as violence goes, I was watching it, and then I was like, I guess there's no violence in this movie. And then at the end, there's a really violent scene.
Yeah.
But in all the other Tarantino movies, there's violence everywhere.
You know what else I didn't like? So was that 4 points? Fifth point is I thought they desecrated the memory of Bruce Lee by making him some stupid Asian. Is that right?
What?
Didn't they make him look like just some stupid Asian?
Why?
Dude?
Because he was Stanley's brother?
No, don't you? In the movie, they made him come off as like a dummy.
It seems like they just put him in to put him in.
And then did he really teach Sharon Tate how to like do kung fu?
See, that's the thing. You don't know what's true and what's not based on the ending.
Also, like
You have to question the entire movie now of if it was real, what they're putting into it.
Also, Brad Pitt played the same character he did in Glorious Bastards.
Yeah. He had scars.
He does the same little
Hey,
He's like, no, what? He does that voice.
hey, I could have played Brad Pitt in that movie, except I would be his ugly cousin, Armpit.
You could have played Brad Pitt. You just gotta work on your delivery.
And my abs.
Number 6. The reason why I didn't like that movie is I thought there was too much meaningless gibberish in the whole film. Like, if you are a good director, you don't need your actors to talk.
What about cutaways?
It should be silent films. Cutaways? Like, what does that mean? Transition shots? What are you talking technically? Are you a technical director? Because I kind of go more from like I'm an improvisational director.
You're like Rob Reiner?
Yeah, I kind of let the actors make the story.
You know who did that?
Yeah.
Robert Altman.
What films did he do?
Shortcuts.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he did MASH.
Dude, Shortcuts. It expresses what LA is about.
I wanted to watch him.
Shortcuts, dude. That's the LA. That's the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I wanted to,
not this fucking Tarantino bullshit.
Well, it's called Once Upon a Time, like it's a myth. So coming in, you know it's not going to be exactly true. Because it's like a story.
But
like
wasn't it also a play on Once Upon a
tale.
Time in the West?
Well, those were fairy tales too. Of the West. He created his own version of the West. So, following in his footsteps, Tarantino created his own version of Hollywood, but it's really like the version that actually was.
Do you think Shortcuts is a better film than...
I used to watch that film a lot, but I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but I wanted to watch it again.
What other movies did that do?
Film Bar, if you're listening to this podcast, play Shortcuts so I can watch it again.
What other movies did Altman do? Allman?
The Lake Wobegon, the movie.
What?
You know that guy on NPR?
Uh-uh.
Lake Wobegon? Garrison Keillor? He did that one. He did Popeye. with Ron Williams.
Did he do the Super Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo's first appearance?
John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo. You know what's something funny? I was reading up. I was watching a movie that Tony Scott did called Revenge
Yeah.
with Kevin Costner. John Leguizamo plays a mute Mexican in the film. He doesn't talk. And I was looking at
But he's not Mexican.
He's not, but he used to claim he was
He's
Cuban.
Puerto Rican.
He claimed that he ain't even Puerto Rican.
Oh.
He ain't even Puerto Rican. He lied about that.
What is he?
He's like Colombian and some other scrap. Spanish scrap, Colombian scrap.
You know what his best role was?
What?
In Spawn. He played that clown.
Oh, he did?
He'd fart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like his...
That must have been his, that was like the height of his career.
Yeah.
Then he went downhill ever since. But he didn't really go that high uphill.
He's in some Spike Lee movies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyways, we're going to close this podcast. I'm freaking getting tired.
We didn't hit the hour mark, but that's alright.
Well, we can hit the outer... What do you want to leave the people a message?
I don't know what to do.
You don't have a message for them?
Keep on staying dank.
If you have a...
Roll them pinners. Smoke them blunts. Keep on popping your pussy.
And if you have a problem with homeless people having animals, that's your problem. Not mine.
Why, should homeless people have animals?
If they're domesticated animals, you need to return it to their
Only
own.
if it's an inside dog.
If it's an inside dog, you better return that animal to its
But if it's an
rightful
outside
home.
dog, the homeless people can have it. Right?
Yeah. If it's an inside animal, return that animal to its home
It's just cruel.
right away. Otherwise, I'm calling the Humane Society.
But if it's an outside animal, that's alright. Keep doing what you're doing.
If it's a feral cat, if it's
An outside dog?
yeah, if it's like one of those giant summer beetles that come out, that thing belongs outside. So, what do you call those big ass summer beetles?
I don't know.
Anyways, this podcast was dedicated to the summer beetles. Thank you all for.
And Tarantino, try again. We all can't have winners.
Hey man, I'm sure you
But
made.
keep on popping it. Keep on popping. You're gonna hit again.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not poor. I'm sure anybody else in your shoes who made that fucking movie would have been broke and thrown out on the street. Never.
Oh, I want to
called
say
it
one more
again.
thing about that movie.
What?
There were too many songs.
Meaningless. They just kind of jumped around. They
They
didn't
just
have
threw
any
all
type
those. Because in the other movies, the songs mattered.
The songs did create an arc to the story.
Stuck
They just
in the
jumped around.
middle of you. Da 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 do.
Tarantino needs to do like a Little Rascals reboot or some shit.
He needs to rein himself back in to maybe 5 songs.